Hello everybody. It's been quite a while since I've posted a new video here. Just thought I would jump in here. It's a Friday night, Friday, September 22nd, 10:18 p.m. Pacific time, even though I'm in Eastern. As many of you know, I live on Pacific, so it's still Friday, September 22nd. Happy birthday to my younger brother, Bob. He is 45 today, earlier today, at Eastern time. So, happy birthday, bro. And it was actually my older brother's birthday about a week and a day ago, so on the 14th. So, happy birthday, older bro, too. And then mine's coming up here in October. So I guess my younger brother and my older brother were like Christmas conceived babies, and I was like a Valentine's Day baby, like from like January, February to like October. Well, yeah, enough of that. So let me bring that down here. It's a little loud, but so yeah, there's so much to like talk about, you know, the whole world, like all this stuff going on in the world. I don't want to get too much into that. You know, it's sort of like a downer. And there's been like congressional hearings on with congressional people, and you know, like the elections and what was it? No, not the well, I guess it's sort of the primaries. Like on the right, you have like Vivek Ramaswamy and Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump and all those silly people. And on the left, they think Biden's going to be like a good candidate, but he's like a dead man walking. And like, then like, what's his vice president? Kamala Harris. If Biden's a dead man walking, she's like a dead woman, or a stupid woman cackling because she laughs, you know, her silly laughs.
Now let's get back to American politics, because there's been a couple of little intercessions that I'd love to get your take on. First up from the First Lady, here's Jill Biden on whether her husband ought to take a cognitive test.
Nikki Haley, one of the Republican candidates, is calling for mental competency tests for those politicians over the age of 75. What do you think about that?
In this video, I mean, I don't know when they're going to get into it. It's only like 2 minutes long, but Kamala Harris's laugh is the biggest destructive, negative force in American politics ever. That's a strong statement for a laugh. So let's keep playing this.
Ridiculous.
Would your husband ever take one of those?
Would he ever take a cognitive test? I mean, Biden can barely talk anymore. I think they're like pumping him full of like methamphetamines, meth, and like vitamin B12 just to keep him standing. You know, like the other day, he had to like, in like a speech, they had like his cheat sheet where he like, okay, I'm going to be taking questions from X number of people, you know. First on the list is so-and-so. And he, okay, pointed at them. But then, like, there was another speech just like two days ago where he was literally reading off of a piece of paper everything he needed to do. The dude is not cognitively there. And then you have, like, Donald Trump, like him or hate him, you have Donald Trump giving like an hour and a half long interview, like an uncut interview to like an NBC person. I mean, they pushed back against him. He pushed back against the interviewer. They had like a very heated and spirited debate and like, you know, conversation. And that was just one of the interviews that he did that day. He did like another hour and a half long one with some other person, and like an hour and 10-minute long with another party. So even though he's not far from Biden's age, he's only like 2.5 years younger than Biden. Trump's there. He's mentally there, you know, but Biden, not so much. And then you have these elder abusers like Joe Biden here, Dr. Joe Biden, trying to say he's completely there. So let's keep playing. I'm sorry.
I mean, we haven't even discussed, we would never even discuss something like that.
I bet they did. She probably booked him in a couple of times, but he forgot about it.
Point discussing it with him because he wouldn't understand what the hell you were talking about. By the way,
Exactly.
being the president is probably a fairly decent mental competency test just in and of itself.
Yeah,
and it's
and
one
he's
that Joe
failing it.
Biden keeps every single time.
Yeah.
The only thing he's succeeded in doing is repeatedly defying gravity. This is a guy who time after time falls upstairs.
He does. He did it again
Who
yesterday
does
as
this?
well.
Here we go.
Here we go. He
Look,
did
come
it
on,
again
hang on,
yesterday.
Joe. Hang on, son.
He just managed to stay upright this time, though. I've got to show you.
now.
I've got to show you quickly before we go, though.
Come on.
Kamala Harris.
So embarrassing. So embarrassing to the country. And Hunter Biden. That's all I needed to say. Hunter Biden. Draw your own conclusions. The whole Hunter Biden thing is just, yeah. If you look over here on the right side, Barrymore, Merrick Garland was testifying. These are like gold. I mean, Merrick Garland just, totally like failed. Major epic fail. Testifying in front of the House. So let's keep playing.
Showing a little bit more of that leftist hatred for the right, and also her ability to laugh at anything.
But I went home one day and I said, well, why are conservatives bad, Mommy? Because I thought we were supposed to conserve things. I couldn't reconcile it. Now I can.
What is she laughing about? I mean, seriously. I mean, I'll probably laugh more at her and just saying that. What is she even talking about? She's clueless, absolutely clueless. I watched a video earlier. Let me see if I can find it here. I didn't want to get into politics, people. I really, really did not want to get into this. But let me go to my history. It was like a video that they played back during like Donald Trump's, where they tried to say like Donald Trump during the January 6th thing, he told people like, go fight for your rights, but do it peacefully, and everything, be peaceful, so on. And they're trying to say that he was like bad for that, bad for. Yeah, here is this it? Donald Trump lawyer plays a video montage of Democrats doubting the election results at the impeachment trial. I think that's the one, or no, here. Okay. Donald Trump's lawyers play a video of Democrats celebrating and advocating violence at the impeachment trial. Let me play a little bit of that.
The House managers spoke about rhetoric, about a constant drumbeat of heated language. Well, as I'm sure everyone watching expected, we need to show you some of their own words.
Yeah, again, Donald Trump said, on January 6th, you need to go to the Capitol peacefully protest, voice your opinions, and, fight for your rights or whatever. And then if you go back in this video, his lawyer plays the video of the Democrats and celebrities advocating violence after Trump did all this. Yeah, it's damning.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
You got to be ready to throw a punch. You have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
Feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were.
They're literally advocating violence against the president of the United States. Maybe he wasn't sworn in yet when some of these people said this, but they're literally advocating violence against the president of the United States.
We're in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. No, I wish we were in high school. I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
Okay.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump. Show me.
Assassinating a president, putting a bullet in Donald Trump. I mean, there was another actress who held up like a bloody like head. It was fake or whatever, but still, I mean, look at what they're saying. And then they're trying to say that he incited insurrection and all this stuff by telling people to go peacefully to the Capitol and voice your opinion and fight for your right and everything, you know, to have your voice heard and so on and so forth. And they're saying stuff like this.
Where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please.
Blowing up the White House. And she obviously meant blowing up the White House with Donald Trump in it. So she was literally calling or saying that she thought about blowing up the White House with the president in it. I mean, come on. What the F?
Get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
Threatening the Supreme Court justices, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch. Senator Schumer takes aim at them, and I think that was, I think that was even before the Roe versus Wade overturning thing. That was before that. That was just when they once they were in the Supreme Court, before the Roe versus Wade decision was leaked. And he's already calling for them. He's telling them to, like, watch out. You know, we're coming for you.
We're going to go in there, we're going to impeach the
This is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you
What? Really?
had to be stuck in an elevator with either President
Here's some cackling coming up.
Trump, Mike Pence,
Cackling Kamala.
or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Yeah, I'm not going to play any more of that. That's just like, that's enough. They tried to make him into a horrible person for what he did on January 6th, the whole January 6th thing. Make him, I'm done. I'm done with that. Either Trump's going to win or one of the other Republicans are going to win, and if neither of them, Vivek or Trump or DeSantis, wins, then maybe like Robert F. Kennedy, because even though he's a Democrat, he's a moderate Democrat. He's like a John F. Kennedy 60s, 70s style Democrat, which is pretty much a Republican today. Has major support. Actually, I think Robert F. Kennedy has technically just as much, if not more, support from the world as a whole than Biden does from the Democratic Party. But the Democratic Party, the DNC, refuses to even acknowledge that he's a candidate because the DNC doesn't want anybody else running except Biden and Kamala. So you have Robert F. Kennedy and you have Marianne, what's her name? I don't even know. I try not to pay attention to them. Marianne something. She's a good woman too. She had like an open mic moment. Let me see if I can find that. Marianne Williamson. There you go. Let me search for open mic. Yeah. Just listen. Marianne Williamson. It's a hot mic moment on Fox News. That Fox News is nicer than the lefties. So this is 26 seconds here. Let me play this.
Does it say that Fox News is nicer to me than the lefties are?
I'm sorry?
What does it say? That the conservatives are nicer to me?
It's a bizarre world, man.
It's such a bizarre world. You know, I'm such a lefty. I mean, I'm a serious lefty. But I understand why people on the right call them godless. I mean, it's like, I didn't think the left was as mean as the right. They are.
Well, I'm
hot mic, honest moment. Marianne Williamson, Democratic candidate during the 2020, said that the Fox News and the conservatives are nicer to her than the lefties are. The lefties. She uses the word lefties because that's what they are. The radical left, the AOCs, I don't know, the whole Biden administration, all the people he has that he's brought in, Merrick Garland. I can't even name them all, but yeah, it's pretty sad that even the left candidates are complaining about their own party. But then on the right, you have like a full field of people. Now, sure, Donald Trump decided not to debate in the last debate. He decided to go on Tucker Carlson's X.com channel or whatever. Because and that was probably a smart move because Donald Trump, he was a former president. He doesn't need to debate with the people, with the other candidates on the Republicans at this point. He doesn't need to debate because everybody knows his views. Why should he go and drag his own party through the mud? And even though he likes Rand Paul now and stuff, during the 2016 elections, he made fun of Rand Paul. He says, you have terrible hair. He made up nicknames for Jeb Bush and for all the other people and stuff. Why? He shouldn't be doing that now. Let the smaller candidates that don't have major support, let them fight it out. And then whoever wins in the primaries, then they get to debate Trump. And I'm honestly sort of hoping that Vivek Ramaswamy, I'm hoping he comes to the top of the GOP candidates. And then I'm hoping, honestly, Trump's not going to have Pence in there again as a vice president. So I'm sort of hoping Trump says Ramaswamy, you're young. Let's make you the youngest vice president ever. Come in as my vice president. And then what are they going to say then? What's the left going to say then if Trump picks Ramaswamy for his vice president? Are they going to still call him a racist? He's picking an Indian guy, a brown skinned guy for his vice president candidate. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm just saying if it does, they won't be able to use the racist card anymore. It'll just wipe that out completely. And I've been spending too much time on this. So I guess the real reason I made this podcast, and there's a really good YouTuber that I follow, Peter Santenello. I'm going to go through his channel a little bit here. Really good YouTuber. He sort of got started back, 2020, 2019, 2018. He was living in the Ukraine. I think he has a Ukrainian wife. But during the pandemic, he got sort of somewhat stuck in the Ukraine. And so he did a lot of his vlogs, his YouTubes in the Ukraine. But since then, he's done a whole series on Appalachia. So you have the wealthiest tribes, which is the Cherokee, the Eastern Cherokee, how Appalachia became addicted to drugs, the whole fentanyl, Oxycontin crisis, which is actually sort of cool because this particular dude that he's talking to in this video, they started this podcast in my town.
Did you have a rough upbringing? Is that why you got into drugs or?
No, I didn't.
There's not a family that I can tell you that I've ever seen, known of, or whatever, that it hasn't affected one way or another.
It fuels a whole vicious cycle, and generations are birthed out of that.
Legal and...
That's a restaurant down in Monticello, Kentucky, which is, 16, 20 miles away from me. They're famous for their burgers, as you can see here. They're famous for their burger. It's called the pool hall or something. I don't know. I don't see any pool tables, but they're sort of famous for their burgers.
Prescribed by authorities, so it's considered good, maybe.
You don't know how bad I want to go back to it right now.
Scales in the gas station. I've never seen that.
A lot of bad memories up here to me.
And this is right in my neck of the woods here in like southern Kentucky.
You always hear about the jails being corrupt. They are corrupt.
Whatever you want, you can get it in prison.
$250 for this? Tough people out here.
And here he is. This is the, after that little pre-part. He's starting this video in my hometown. Well, I lived in Ohio for a while, and I moved to Virginia, but I still consider where I am now my quote-unquote hometown. And you can see this mural on the wall. He talks a little bit about that. But Somerset, Kentucky, he's down next to our little city park, our new city park down there. So let me play it.
To show us what's going on exactly and how there's an effort to turn things around. It's not just in Appalachia either. This is all over the country. So by watching what goes on here, you'll learn about where you're living.
I've seen that mural. I drive by it probably every night, but I've never actually stopped and looked at it. That's pretty impressive. I'm gonna be doing like some of my own videos. I'm gonna actually stop down there and like take these same shots.
2. Should be an interesting journey. Let's do this. So Chance, you've been clean 2 years?
I've been clean for 3.
So yeah, he started there. I'm not going to go through this. It's like an hour, almost an hour and a half long. But this Chance guy, he's like a drug rehabilitation guy. He takes Peter, the YouTuber, around like Somerset, where I am, talks to some people. They go down to Monticello, which is in Wayne County, which is just south of me. They come back up to like Whitley County, McCreary County. They go to like a drug rehab place that has people who are struggling to get clean and do better. So it's a story of hope, based out of like desperation. You know, people who hit rock bottom and they're trying to like, you know, pull themselves out of it and so on. So really, really good video. You can just pull it up here. Peter Santenello. Like I said, there's a whole series in Appalachia Appalachian that he did. So you got this Titus guy. Let me see. I'll get to him in a minute. That's my main point here. But he goes to North Carolina, talks to an old dude who's lived like 50 years off the grid in North Carolina, which is still part of Appalachia. Got the Native Americans, the wealthiest tribes, like I said. The man with no legal identity, that's still the dude, the Titus guy up here above. They did 2 videos. Actually, Titus was so popular that he did a second video on Titus. So Titus is up to about 2 hours here on Peter's channel. Then they went to Eastern Kentucky, the coal miners, inside Forgotten America, 5th generation coal miners. And then West Virginia, First Impressions was like his very first video. Then they said what it really looks like. So these 2 were like in West Virginia, like southwestern West Virginia. So very much in the heart of the poor towns and the towns that have almost gone abandoned due to the coal mines leaving and shutting down. So. But then if you go back, just before the Appalachian series, he did one with a 94-year-old Holocaust survivor from the Holocaust. Las Vegas, craziest industry, like trafficking, prostitution. He talked to like a comedian. He did one with like a magician here, Murray the magician, the mafia attorney boss of Las Vegas. So, and I have a connection with Las Vegas. My brother lives out there, so that was sort of neat to see because he was actually filming these videos while I was there. So that was sort of neat back in like June, July, outside Vegas. He's just a very good guy, very good interviewer. He asks like probably overly simple questions. In a way, like they're almost like stupid questions. You sort of think to yourself, that was a stupid question, but it leads into something more. It leads into a bigger dialogue with the people, what's it like living in Mexico City, Off the Grid in Arizona. That was a good one, like the RV and van life people. More native tribes. He went to the Navajo, the Blackfoot, many different tribes out west. So this was the main reason I started this podcast. The Navajo, Lakota, Pine Ridge Reservation, the Crow Tribe, the Flathead Reservation. But then he jumps over to Italy, Italy's craziest city. Dangerous Rome. Then he jumps back over to like Alaska fishermen and Alaska's Lost Island, which was like another indigenous island up in Alaska. You have to get permission from the elders even to come onto that island. So he did like 2 episodes there, like about a year ago. Off the Grid in Alaska, natives. It's so fascinating. Just all the ranchers and cowboys and cowgirls and untold stories, and city girl marries a cowboy, finds happiness on the ranch. I mean, it's just like real life stuff. Real life stories. Very raw. It just, great channel. Highly recommended. Like some of them are 28 minutes or 11 minutes, but most of the good ones are like 30 minutes plus, up to an hour. You got a few that are longer than that, but really, really good. So let's get back to Titus. Now this Titus fellow, he only lives maybe 15 or 20 miles away from where I do here in Kentucky. I live in Somerset. Titus lives up in Liberty. So if you pull up a map, Liberty is like the next, I guess, quote unquote, biggest city north of Somerset. I guess it's sort of southwest of Somerset. But a friend of mine was up there tonight, and he posted an Instagram video of Titus like standing on top of his horse, which he's sort of known for. And so let me play a little bit of Titus here.
No driver's license, no ID, nothing like that. I have no clue what happened to Titus. He took off somewhere out there. I wake up in the morning and there's a green hill on that side, and a green hill on that side, and I just have my own little peaceful valley here. Amish friend.
We can accept and still go on with what we've got.
This is your whole dishwashing apparatus? I think that's the beauty. We can hang out today. We don't have to believe in exactly the same thing, and we can have an awesome time. This is your McDonald's drive-up window? Yep. Hello. Hello, Titus. Hey. You ever had a cell phone?
Never did.
Do you feel like you're missing out on anything right now? That's like childhood. I think I may go like into that tree. Okay.
Rural Kentucky. And when I first started watching this video, I didn't know exactly where he was in Kentucky. He might have been like in eastern Kentucky, or, Kentucky's a big state, and there's a lot of rural places. But further down the video, he actually posted the guy's phone number. Maybe not on this video, but on another one. Posted the guy's phone number. It was 606, and then not in this video, but in the next Titus one, he put like the address, like 142. And then on some of Titus's, he has his own channel. Now, he's not on the internet, but he has like some people helping him out, like doing some videos on like God and his ministry and religion and stuff. But they actually posted his address, his home address and phone number. So I have it here in my phone. I mean, I left him a message. Of course, he's probably being like totally swamped with like messages from people, but let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, here we go. Titus Morris. Yeah, 606-448-4252, 142 Henson Creek Road, Liberty, Kentucky. So I think today, September 22nd, September 23rd, I think tomorrow, I'm probably I have like an eye doctor appointment in the morning, but I think I'm going to probably drive up to Liberty I'm going to stop by his property. Now, he celebrates like his Sabbath day on Saturdays, not Sundays. So he may have some more people over, but I'm going to stop by. I'm going to put in my GPS and my nice, new car here behind me, and see if I can just go visit the dude. If he's busy, if there's a lot of people, I just want to get like a selfie with the guy. I mean, he's like YouTube famous now. He's like an inspiration to me, because I sort of want to go off grid eventually, sort of like he is. Man with no legal identity, off grid in Appalachia. I mean, that's like the dream, man. I mean, how much better does it get than that?
Okay. And then see if I can bend it to this one and get to this one and then come over to that one.
Okay.
And then come on down. You've done this a few times, Titus? Oh, yeah. We didn't have TV growing up, so this is what we did for, our spare time.
I remember climbing trees when I was a kid, so I mean, that's going back to my like childhood, living on like a 250-acre plot of land when I was like in my teenage years. We used to climb trees and do all that kind of stuff, and I've been through the corporate world, I've been through government jobs, I've been through all this stuff, but even though I'm old now, and like Titus is still like 23, he's only like 23, but it still inspires me to like, before it's my time, get back out there, live, find a lifestyle that suits me, so check out the Titus videos. Like I said, I'm going to try to get up there. I'm going to, he's doing a little bit of a ministry thing, and I'm not like a hugely religious person. I mean, my religious views are very non-conventional. I mean, I believe in like aliens, and that humans didn't originate on this planet, and we probably came here from somewhere else, and like, God and potentially even like Jesus and stuff were like aliens. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video, but I can still relate to the guy. I can still believe in what he does and what he's speaking. The spirituality part is still pertinent, regardless of whether my beliefs are the same as his or not. The spirituality is the key to everything when it comes to people of different belief systems relating to each other. When it comes to us, like, finding common ground and stuff. I mean, we don't all have to believe the same thing. I mean, he may not agree necessarily with me, but our belief system might be close enough to where you say, yeah, you have a good point. Maybe that's how it happened. And then I can do the same thing. Titus, you make a good point. Maybe that's how it happened. So, and that's the way things need to be. And I love this video. I mean, Peter Santenello, he only has like 2.5 million, a little bit less than 2.5 million subscribers. And just since July 29th, so July, August, September, so almost 2 months, this video has gotten 10.8 million views, which is like over 4 times as many subscribers as Peter has. So that shows how much of this video has had an impact. And if you go to Peter's channel here and you pull up his videos, 2.1, 1.9, 1.5. This off-grid one, which is what the old guy was, 6.7, which is pretty high. But it's all around 1.9, 2.1. But then you have Titus here, 10 million on the first, 2 million on the second, which just came out 6 days ago. And then most of the rest of them have 1.6. Well, that one has 17 million. That was the West Virginia one, which was really good, actually. He talked to some old people up in the hollers and drove up into the holler, really out in the middle of nowhere. These little towns, like the coal mining towns, like abandoned schools and, you know, stores that have shut down, like malls and stuff that are like abandoned. Like it says here, southern West Virginia to eastern Kentucky is the largest region of economically distressed counties in the country. In many ways, it's a different America here. But what it feels like to travel through this region of Appalachia, and what do the locals have to say? Join me on this epic road trip to find out. And I don't think when he started, I don't think he realized what he was getting into, and that's why it went into like 8 or 9 videos. And, you know, that's 17 million views on this particular one. And then he ended up doing like an hour and a half long live cast on the entire Appalachian series. So, just to answer questions and talk to people about it. That's how popular it got. It was like probably one of the most hard-hitting ones that he's done on his channel ever since he was like stuck in the Ukraine. But I'm rambling, but yeah, there's so many ones that he's done over the past number of years. And he's done other Amish ones before this. This is where I sort of first found him, is back when he did like undercover Amish auction, weekend with Amish farmers, what Amish schools are like, the most conservative Amish homes, the Swartzen Troubers, which is like a sect. That's a whole sect of the Amish. Invited to the Amish dinner, the Amish Mennonite community. You know, so he did like a whole series on the Amish even back then, and then went straight from the Amish to American Muslims, Muslim Iraqi or Iraqi in America, Muslim woman America, solution to poverty in the USA, which I think is still Muslim, Islam's rise in America, Muslim majority city. So he did a whole series on that, and then before that, it jumps back to like Chinatown, East New York, Hasidic Jewish, New York, Little Italy. When will China take over the USA? U.S.-Mexican border. That was a very good series. Very, very raw, uncut. But then back to the Amish. You know, so that's why I love Peter Santenello. That's why I love his channel. So I'm going to end it here. I've talked enough about him. I got into a little bit of Titus, and I'm going to try to visit him, and like I said, if he's busy, I'm going to at least try to get a selfie and maybe like a small 5-minute interview with him about things, and talk to him a little bit about Santenello, and maybe try to set up something, maybe donate something to his ministry or his church and try to help him out there a little bit. So everybody have a good night. Let me transition back over here. Everybody have a good night, and
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men, the rich men. I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milk welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men know the rich men, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men know the rich men. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
And peace out.